Okay, so this video will focus on biochemical testing from Lab 6, which we used many different types of media to see what kind of growth and different characteristics that the bacteria may contain to help us identify it. A lot of it had to do with fermentation and how the bacteria fermented, if it did ferment. And so that's what we're going to be looking at. So to set up the area, again, I would use aseptic technique and get myself ready: gloves, lab coat, goggles, closed-toed shoes, hair pulled back, all that stuff explained before. I would get all my media ready. For this, we're going to have different tubes. For the first one, for the phenol red broth sugar, there's 4 types that we're going to have. So I would have labeled all of those. My agar plates I would label with the organism name and my initials. I'll be using an inoculating loop. A lot of times we'll have the Bunsen burner to sterilize the loop. So that's what I will be pretending to use. So that's what I would do to set up. So again, we could be using different types of media, complex or simple, depending on the bacteria that we're finding, or if it's an unknown, we could be doing several things. So, which will show different ways that the bacteria will metabolize different things, even red blood cells. Will it break down red blood cells? How much? Partially, fully, not at all. So that's a way that we're going to be looking at that. So again, we're going to be using our sterile inoculating loop for the phenol red broth sugar. So I would sterilize my loop to begin through the flame of the Bunsen burner, and I would grab my culture, and I would, again, I'm going to use the same technique, open the cap with my pinky finger. I'm going to grab a small amount carefully. Be careful not to touch the end, and I'm going to replace this back into the tube rack. I will grab my first tube of the phenol red broth types, and I will put the culture into each one of these tubes. So I will put it in, gently mix it, I would pull it out, and I would incinerate it again. I would close this, put this in the tube rack. I would do it to the next one. Grab that, the next sugar, make sure it was sterilized, the loop was sterilized. I would get my culture, get some more, and put that back in the tube rack. Open this one up, put that in, mix it, close that, and incinerate it again. I would do that for all 4. So I'd replace all the tubes in the racks, making sure to sterilize the loop after each time. These would all be incubated for 37 degrees Celsius for 24 to 48 hours. And then we would observe it. So a lot of times, some will ferment with the sugar and produce some acid, and that will turn it yellow. There's also times where it will turn pink if the proteins are metabolized. And then we would, if we did put a Durham tube upside down inside the tube, if gas was produced, we would be able to see that as well. There would be bubbles present as well. So we would be able to see, which sugars did ferment, which didn't. And that looks like that's going to be it for this video. I will continue in